Adrian Rabiot pushing for a Manchester United deal in the final days of the window. Juventus hold emergency talks with Manchester United today to try and conclude a deal for Jadon Sancho. And what is going on with Lindelof and Eriksen? These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this afternoon's show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And let's get straight on into it. So as always, I want to try and make the show interactive. I've got a question to ask you. Should Manchester United sign Adrian Rabiot? I'll give you my answer in a couple of minutes. I want to bring you the news. I want to give you all the context. And I want you to get in the comment section now. Pause the video. Let me know. Should Manchester United sign Rabiot? Now, this story is coming out from multiple different people in the last couple of minutes. And they are reporting that apparently Adrian Rabiot is pushing for a move for Manchester United in the final days of the window. What does everyone feel about that? I actually, to be honest, I would sign Rabiot at this point. I think we need to strengthen our midfield massively. We'll talk about Eriksen in a minute. We'll talk about McTominay. We'll talk about Hannibal. Obviously, Donny van der Beek's already left. So that could be 4 players leaving our midfield. Obviously, Amrabat's gone as well. So 5 if you include Amrabat. Now, the only thing that kind of puts me off the Rabiot deal a little bit was his wages and his age. But he is a free agent. He's not going to cost any money by way of transfer fee. And if he was on the market, I think he probably would be worth anywhere between 25 and 35 million euros. He's a World Cup winner, 29 years of age, very good central midfielder. Obviously, he can play as a defensive midfielder as well. Played lots and lots of minutes for Juventus last season. He only left Juventus because he couldn't agree a new contract with them. Effectively, he wanted more money and they weren't willing to give it him. So he moved on. We nearly signed him last summer, remember. John Murta and Richard Arnold flew to Turin to try and conclude a deal, but didn't manage to negotiate a price with his agent, who is his mother, on wages and signing on fees and all the rest of it. But the season starts in literally 3 days. The window closes in 3 days on Friday. So, he's got to act relatively quickly now to get some sort of deal done. We know that Saudi clubs are interested in him. And my feeling towards this situation is that Rabiot is fishing, not literally, he's fishing for big European clubs to come in for him. And I think that obviously he has offers from Saudi, mega money, life-changing amounts of money, 500 million a week type money, 500,000 a week type money. But the feeling is that he still does want to play in the top European leagues, and whether that's for a Manchester United, a Barcelona, a Liverpool, someone like that. Those are the teams who are currently supposedly linked to him. We've been linked to Rabiot all summer. I've always felt that Rabiot is like a backup option. Obviously, we know that Man United want Manuel Ugarte, but for me personally, Manuel Ugarte on his own isn't enough. When you think that Amrabat's gone, and I know Amrabat has his limitations, but you've let Amrabat go and you bring in Ugarte, right? You've let Donny van der Beek go, which was obviously a correct decision. He was offering nothing, but he still was a midfielder who was available to us. You let Christian Eriksen go, which we'll talk about in a minute, and you probably let Hannibal Mejbri go as well. So, as I said at the beginning of the video, we could have as many as 5 midfielders leave in this window. And I think we can all agree that midfield was our biggest issue last season. So you let potentially 5 midfielders go, and then you only bring in 1 in Manuel Ugarte. So for me personally, I think Adrian Rabiot is a clever signing, 29 years of age, maybe give him a 2-year deal. Nothing crazy, maybe 2 years with the option of 1 extra year, something like that. Bring him in, see how he gets on. I don't think it could be that bad. Wages-wise, apparently he wants about 150,000 a week, which sounds like a lot of money to me or you, but when you look at it from a Manchester United standpoint and you compare it with our other top earners, at the moment, Eriksen's on 150k a week. I mean, what would you rather? 32-year-old Eriksen, who looks like he can't hack it in the Premier League, or 29-year-old Rabiot? I would go Rabiot any day of the week. You look at other players in that squad. Mason Mount's on 250 grand a week. Rabiot on 150 doesn't sound that bad when you compare it with the other players. Luke Shaw's on 150 grand a week. He's missed 50% of our games over the last 7 or 8 years of his time here. Harry Maguire's on nearly 200,000 a week. The point I'm making is 150,000 a week for someone of Rabiot's quality is not terrible. Is he my dream signing? No. Was he at the top of my list? No. But we're literally 3 days away from the window closing. And as it stands, our midfield, even with Manuel Ugarte, it's going to be improved a bit, but it's not going to go from like awful how it was last season to really good. We're still going to be 1 injury away from probably seeing, I don't even know. I don't know, If Eriksen goes, who's going to even be on our bench? Toby Collier? No disrespect to Toby Collier. I think he has a massive future ahead of him, but I'm not convinced he's ready to start in the Premier League. I'm not convinced if, Kobe Mainoo gets injured that you could just start playing Toby Collier every week. Or if Casemiro gets injured or whoever, maybe Manuel Ugarte gets injured. That's a possibility. We need to have some experienced players in this squad. We need to have some winners. And for me, Rabiot is a winner. Whereas we've got at the moment lots of people who aren't winners who think they're better than they are, realistically. So yeah, for me, it's a yes. Just to clarify, is he my dream signing? No. At the beginning of the window, was he at the top of my list? No. But considering we're 3 days away from the window closing, and I think the midfield is our biggest issue and was last season, I think we have to go and bring in 2 midfielders now. And Rabiot for free is the obvious option. But you can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And let's move on to Jadon Sancho. So we've had an update come out in the last couple of minutes. This is coming out from Fabrizio Romano. In the last couple of minutes, he's reporting that new contact between Jadon Sancho's agent and Juventus will take place today to understand if they can reach an agreement on a loan with a buy clause and discuss the salary. Now, this sounds amazing. Really, really good. But the one bit of this news that kind of concerns me is the last 2 words, a buy clause. We need it to be an obligation to buy. Buy clause is no good to Manchester United, okay? If we let Jadon Sancho go out on loan again, we're effectively facilitating his bad behaviour. We're letting people know that you can call out the manager publicly and you will then be rewarded by being allowed to leave to wherever you want and we'll pay half of your wages. That's what it makes it look like to me, That's not how players should be disciplined. It's not. It's not how other top clubs would be run. And I'd be absolutely stunned if Ineos agree to letting Jadon Sancho go on loan and pay his salary. That just to me sounds like an absolute kick in the face. After everything that Jadon Sancho's done, after all of the disrespect he showed to our fans, to the club, to the manager, to his other teammates, really, he either goes or he rots in the under-21s, really. That's the reality of the situation. Now, I think the way that they've handled it to this point was very clever. They brought him back into the first team. They took him on the pre-season tour. He featured in the Community Shield. We made the outside world think that everything was okay, which completely changed the situation. Let's flash back to 2 months ago. 2 months ago, nobody would pay us a penny for Jadon Sancho. Dortmund said, we like him, but we're not going to give you any money. We'll take him on loan. Juventus said, we'll take him on loan. Nobody was willing to offer us any money whatsoever for Jadon Sancho. That's a fact. And that was because he was exiled from the team. He wasn't training with the team. And there was all of this uncertainty. Next thing you know, Jadon and Erik ten Hag are friends again. Amazing. He's back in the squad. He's training. He's going on the pre-season tour. He's in the Community Shield squad. And everyone's like, oh, maybe he's actually going to stay. Maybe he has a future here. And that really did increase his value and demand because you see teams like Chelsea, obviously Juventus have now come back for him. And I think we need to stand strong. We need to tell them that either they give us the money, whether that's a loan with an obligation to buy, whether that's in installments. I don't really care how the deal's formulated. As long as it's a permanent deal, whether it's a loan for this season and then they buy him next season, that's fine. No problem with that whatsoever. But the point of the matter is, Jadon Sancho needs to be gone. He has to go, without a shadow of a doubt. So yeah, this is positive. It's positive that it looks like it's moving forward, but I would honestly be so disappointed if we end up loaning him with no obligation to buy. I just think it makes us look incredibly stupid. But yeah, we'll wait and see how it goes. Obviously, we've still got, 3 days left of the window, so I'll keep you updated on that one. And then the final 2 stories are on Victor Lindelof and Eriksen. These are 2 players definitely to keep an eye on in the final weeks of the window. Apparently, Fenerbahce is still pushing to sign Victor Lindelof, and Anderlecht and Ajax are pushing to sign Christian Eriksen. So it should be a very, very busy week for Manchester United, obviously with Hannibal Mejbri expected to leave as well, with Burnley interested, Leeds interested, Celtic and Rangers interested. So we should see, I think, McTominay go, Hannibal go, hopefully Sancho go, Lindelof go and Eriksen go. That could be 5 more players leaving before the end of the window. And if that happens, you need to be bringing in 2 or 3 more people. You need to be bringing in a Rabiot, an Ugarte, probably another attacking player before the window ends. So Man United have got a lot of business to do in this final week of the window if we're going to have the depth we need to achieve what we all want to achieve this season. Because if we don't, I think, top 4 would be a dream, to be honest. Being honest, looking at the squad we have, looking at the depth we have. We've done good business this summer, but it's not been enough, I don't think. But yeah, there's still obviously 3 or 4 days left of the window to go, and I very much expect Manuel Ugarte to sign. I think we'll sign probably 2, maybe 3 players before the window ends, and I expect, as I said, anywhere between 1 and 5 players to leave before the window ends. So there's lots of time left. It's not all doom and gloom. It is looking good. Let's just stay positive and let's get behind the players and the manager. But I'm going to wrap the video up here. I will be back at 6 o'clock. Please make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. This has been Daily Red Devil. I'll speak to you all on the next one. Bye for now.